You actually made the bold decision to go to China in 1991, didn't you? You saw the potential of the growth.
Actually, I must give credit to my father. I mean, it was my father's idea, you know, that I supported, and then I did it. But you always, you wanted to create a factory also in China, which I was not so pro on, and I was going, I thought it was more the retail than the manufacturing way, and in that regard, I was right, and then, you know, it has been an incredible growth, which unfortunately the past 2 years has slowed down, you know.
Yes.
China is
How has that slowdown in China affected luxury businesses?
I would say that the good thing we did is that we did a good branding exercise, you know, in China. So if the brand is well known in China, there are about 120 million Chinese that traveled the world shopping last year, which is unbelievable, and they expect to go 150, 180, and you know, once the middle class develops, you can imagine we go to the several hundreds. So I think that the good thing is a little bit like Brazil. Brazil is a similar situation, and Russia is a similar situation. I think the pioneering spirit is, and I'm not saying anything new because our industry is similar to other industries as well, is nurture the brand in the early stage of a country development, and make sure, you know, to differentiate yourself to some of the local or some of the others, so that when they start traveling the world, they remember your brand, and you're able to understand what the customer wants, you know. And I think that retailing becomes more scientific with CRM, with technology. So you can understand the state and recognize the he or the her when they travel the world. So I think, to answer your question, I think that one has to see not so much how much business I do in China, how much business do I do with the Chinese around the world. If you think, if you make 100, what the Chinese buy in luxury field, only 1/3 of what they spend is spent locally. 2/3 is spent around the world, which is unbelievable. Yeah. So, I mean, the challenge is, yes, still be good and strong in China, but make sure to go after the Chinese and to make them happy around the world. Yeah. This is, and so if that concept, you know, applies to the Russian, to the Brazilian, hopefully the Indian, you keep going. And I think that today is hard to see growth in one solo country, or you know, Europe has been stuck a while now. Finally, at least in our business, coming back because of the traveler, because the euro is relatively cheap compared to other currency.
Yeah, they're coming here now.
And so, you know, in going after them and in knowing your customer through your own store, that helping you counterbalance some of the downturn that unfortunately this year, I'm not sure about Alan, but we had many downturn this year. I mean, you know, the devaluation that took place in August, I mean, unbelievable. 10 devaluation, and we got killed because, you know, we had fresh product in the store at the old price, and, you know, you just cannot increase prices all of a sudden. You have to wait 6 months or 1 year to do so. So these are only lost margin, which you have to make up, either by cutting cost or just by doing something else. So I think these are,
as you say, Gildo, you have to attract the customer, keep the customer, and have that brand recognition. What was interesting before, you made a statement, it's about sheep to store. Can you just talk the audience through what it means, sheep to store?
That has been a kind of a dream that my father and uncle had 50 years ago, and I think it has been accomplished by me and Paolo, my cousin, that is the chairman of Zegna, 3 years ago. My dad created Ermenegildo Zegna Superfine Wool Trophy in Australia 52 years ago in order to foster the production of the best wool. Because, you know, wool is a commodity. It's like gold or like steel, goes up and down. And so when it goes up, it's fine. When it goes down, you know, they start killing the sheep or getting rid, you know, of the property because they lose money. And so the award is to support, for our own small sake, you know, the top wool grower farmers in Australia, to compensate the drop of the commodity wool. And so that became, we had the governor of Australia, the Italian ambassador. It was like a party, an event, to celebrate the crop. It's like they do, with grapes or with other things. And so it became a kind of the Zegna event in Australia every year. And that kept the quality of the commodity high. And we are very special. I mean, for some of you that are familiar with our world, particularly the fashion people or the people that go to a tailor, usually fabric is linked to a finesse, 120, 130, 150. The higher the number, the finer the wool. But it's not enough. Don't be misled, because it's not only the micronage of the wool, which is called finesse, it's also the length of the fiber. So we use length that is well above the average, which gives you an incredible performance to the fabric that we use in our clothing. And so, this index was surely reached because of this tradition of creating Zegna wool trophies. To cut a long story short, when we had the 50th anniversary, Paul and I, we did Sydney and Melbourne, he said, it's about time to buy a sheep farm. And so we bought a nice sheep farm with 50,000 superfine merino sheep in New England, a well-known region of Australia. And so we created the new message, from sheep to store, which I think is very cute. Why? Because the best raw material to the best service in the store worldwide. And we are the only one in men's making sure to control every phase of the production process. So our wool, the combing of the wool, the spinning of the wool, the weaving of the wool, clothing, service to the store, and hopefully omni-channel pretty soon. So I mean, it's a fully vertical integration cycle, which, mind you, I think that has been sorting out pretty well also for partners, because Zegna does not only produce our brand, but we're very proud to produce Tom Ford. We've been working with Tom Ford for now the past 8 years, and Zegna we have both a manufacturing and distribution agreement, partnership with them, and Zegna produces all the Tom Ford menswear. So we are very proud of that. I mean, 007, I'm sure that many of you went to see the last Spectre. Tom Ford, produced by us. So we're very proud of.
From sheep to Tom Ford, and Tom Ford to James Bond. I bet James Bond didn't realise.
From sheep to Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be your new trademark now, from sheep to Spectre.
So anyhow, these are some of the other associations that makes our life more emotional. In the industry, we are known like a little bit Prussian. Piedmontese people coming from our area are not like people coming from Lombardy. Lombardy is Milan. We are more Turin. They are very a little bit Germanic in approach.
Okay.
Our challenge, the challenge of, in particular, the next generation, is to make the brand maybe sometime more fun, more emotional. And I think Tom Ford is a good example, of bringing some sex appeal to a men's brand, which is not easy, and just have more fun. So they tell you in the comedy, they said you should smile a little bit more, and probably that's the answer. That's the answer. So I'm trying to be very sincere.
Gildo, you were just talking before about controlling the product, controlling everything, even from the sheep. But the family it's a family-controlled business. Have you ever been tempted to take it public in its history so far?
Yeah, you get several offers, and actually we remain one of the few Italian family business private, and but I think that so far the business is okay, and you have enough resources to finance a business, or you don't intend to acquire a bigger concern than yours, and provided, you know, you seek organic growth like the one we have been seeking until now, I think there is no reason to go public. I'd rather spend my time on my customer, on my product, on my people, rather than spending time with the analysts, to be honest with you. That you know, it's like they are on your neck every quarter, and that's it depends on the priority, you know. And the other thing is family unity. You know, until the family is united and the family is not greedy, I think that, you know, you can. There are only advantages to remain private. I think that private company has a long-term view, and that's and that has a lot to do with the vision. I think the flexibility, you know, to make choices, to make hard choices that might not procure quick fixed result is another thing. And I try to run. Domenico De Sole, our board member, and is one of the personality that I admire the most in the luxury field. Is the one who turned Gucci around and really made Gucci a premier luxury brand. Said Zegna is one of the few private family company in Italy is run like a public company. And this is my motto, you know. I try to be not Mr. Zegna, but the CEO of a company that has to be run in a transparent way, in an ethical way, and with a strong, with the governance of a public company. I make many mistakes, but I try to minimize mistakes. And when you make mistake, correct the mistake and just be, you know, very clear and very direct, you know. And if something goes wrong, okay, go to the board and say, listen, this is what we have to do to fix it.